Hello, good morning to everyone. Welcome to this tutorial channel. For this particular video that I want to share a little bit out of knowledge that how I'm going to use the SuccessFactors systems to trigger some of the data flow over to the n8n's automation workflow, to trigger some of the alternative workflow to send the survey form to the candidate after the onboarding, as well as to notify the alert message to in the Telegram to notify the HR operation, whereby this candidate has been done about the entire onboarding process. Okay, let's talk about this particular workflow. So from this workflow is very quite straightforward, which means we separate into two particular platform. First, we're talking about the SuccessFactors system. So whereby this is under from the onboarding module, whereby the candidates will be fall under the final step for the document sign, will be document flow. So in this step will be the final step for the candidate to sign off all the attachment and document in the onboarding. So once this step is complete, normally the process will be end in the onboarding, whereby the candidate data, all the information, the personal information, as well as the document will be captured and will be part under the manage pending hire for the employee central step. So whereby this is actually the end of the onboarding process, whereby in between, what I'm going to do is I will use the SuccessFactors, one of the ICS Intelligence Center. So we normally call Intelligence Center Service, to trigger this information after the document sign, flow over to the n8n automation workflow. So from here, we're using the n8n workflow to capture the information from SuccessFactors, whereby from this part, I will trigger one of the survey forms sent over to the candidate, ask them to do some feedback or review, where at the same time, we also notify the message in the Telegram bot, in order that for example, like those HR people or HR team in the Telegram bot, they can aware that this candidate has been completed the onboarding process, whereby now it's under the manage pending hire step, whereby they can log into the SuccessFactors systems to review the entire hiring data or whatever to flow over to the Employee Central. So this is a really quite straightforward step. Then let's straight over to the demonstration. Okay, so now come to the demonstration. So okay, let me give you some explanation how this workflow work. Okay, so okay, here I have three different platform here. So the left hand side, actually this is a SuccessFactors system. So whereby this is I'm logged in as one of the candidate names called Ali Ibrahim. So now actually this candidate has been completed the personal data collection, the private additional data collection. Now is in the last step of the process with the e-signature. Okay, so then also, of course, I also using this dummy email, the Yoke mail. Actually, this is the email that for this candidate, and currently doesn't receive any survey email trigger from the workflow. So currently they are still logged in as a normal after reset the password and active the account. So he just going to provide the information, and now currently in the last particular step. So what is the expectation outcome will be? This candidate will go into complete this e-signature. When it's done, then the workflow will see whether the n8n workflow will trigger and receive the information. Then whereby they will send the so-called the survey email go to the this candidate email. At the same time, I also receive this Telegram bot to the Telegram, so notified to HR about this candidate data has been ready for managed pending hire review. So this is actually the whole outcome from this testing demo. So however, this just for information, this is just only the sharing purposes or educational purposes. So this all information is just only for test data for testing, not the real data in the production. So all is a demo instance. So if you say you want to work this entire thing out, perhaps you can get from the JSON file that I will put into the description below. You can download and test it out. However, for the SuccessFactors part, you may try to recruit or get from your local partner or your trusted partner to set up into the test environment to make this whole things to be function into the testing first before you further to move into the production or whatever things. Okay, so this is something that you just highlight from this. So now let's proceed to do the signature step from the last step. This is a test sample form that I want to sign from the candidate. So when I sign, yes, complete, then this will be submitted for this form. Then just okay. So if this step has been done, completed, then let's see whether have any things to be triggered from the n8n workflow part. Okay, so now it's running. So you can see I did receive the notification from Telegram. So of course the workflow also started complete the whole thing. So this is the today date, and the time now is 1 o'clock for my time. So you can see the whole entire process has been done. Then it's successfully to send the Telegram message over to the Telegram bot. So they mentioned that, hey, this candidate Ali Ibrahim has been complete the onboarding, so please proceed to the system to validate and review and validate the data from the managed pending hire, notified to the HR. So however, in the candidate itself, I also will see refresh the email. Then you will see this is the email coming from the n8n. So you see that, okay, I would like to get your feedback from you. So you can click on the link here. Then the system will bring you to the Google form. Then you can, by default, the email from the candidate. And also you can do the survey form, and you can submit this survey form as a candidate. So they can, after complete, they can still do the survey and submit this survey form back to the survey. So this is the entire setup. So how we're going to complete this initial the signature step. Then the n8n workflow will help you to trigger, to compile and send the email to the candidate, as well as to trigger the notification to the Telegram bot. So this is the whole entire demo for this particular SuccessFactors integrate to the n8n workflow automation trigger. Okay, so slightly a little bit guide or walkthrough about how the setup from the SuccessFactors side about this demonstration. So from SuccessFactors, what I'm using is actually the called intelligence service, ICS. Normally when you click on the intelligence service, then you will see this particular intelligence service central, ISC. So then when you come to here, they will see a lot of event available in SuccessFactors by different module. So based on the just now the demonstration that the workflow that I'm using, actually from the onboarding part, is under this onboarding process variant step completion. So I just using for this event. However, when by the candidate is done from the final step on that process variant, then I will need to trigger this event and to get the integration center to retrieve the file and send over to the n8n automation workflow. Okay, so this is the one that I'm using. So click on this one. Then perhaps when you go in here, you will nothing. So you just create a new flow and you create the integration center from here. You can create a new one and attach this integration task under this so-called event. Okay, so how this particular integration center event task look like? It just go in here. Then for those consultants may familiar with the integration center, is quite straightforward. For ICS, normally the trigger point is based on the event, may not under the schedule or something. So you won't see any like the schedule trigger wire from the integration center. ICS is mostly on the trigger point from the event. So to set up the integration file, straight away go to the configuration field. So you can add in or create the element here. How many elements that you want to create, it depends on what is the integration workflow or data you want to flow over to the n8n workflow. So from my end, I just create this is the most relevant one, like the task status, everything is come from the process object. So as you SuccessFactors onboarding consultant, you may know all the information from the onboarding is come from the onboarding process object. So this is the one, ONB2 process. So like the process status, the task status, the ID, request status, everything is come from here. So make sure you just create the plus button here to create the element that you want for this JSON file. Then of course, each of the element you can do the association for this part. This is the icon, the link icon is the association. So when you click from this one, they actually to bring you to the association page. Then you can look for the field that you want to get from the process object. So this is how it works. So so this is the first thing you need to get the data available from here. So once you have this data, then second thing will be the filter. So filter part, it depends. It's very subjective. Depends on what is the information you want to retrieve and during the event trigger. So for my end, I'm just taking the status is open. So long it's open, is active. Then I want to take any process data is active. Then the last modifier will be based on the today date. So like just now the demo is because it's happening by today. So once it's complete, I will just only get the last modified by today date only. Then of course the status, this is the one is critical. As you know, all the onboarding data, the status is passed from the E called external user. So if let's say you didn't put for the external user filter, then you might can't get any information from the integration center because they due to this inactive data in the user profile. So make sure you also put in the E, then the system will know you are trying to get the data from the this candidate for the inactive external user, because this data I may consist have the last name and first name and the email address. This is something is coming from the external user data. So without the E filter here, then you can't get the information. So this is something that just additional highlight only lah. Then of course recruit status I will just only get from ready to hire. As you know, based on the recruit status, so long is not status, is everything is come from the within an onboarding process. However, for those candidate data has been complete onboarding process, the recruit status part under the managed planning hire will be ready to hire or ready to recruit. So whereby when the managed planning hire data has been confirmed submitted to employee center, then the recruit status will become hire or recruit. So from this scenario, I just only want to get any data coming from the managed planning hire only. So not to any step. So that's why I just emphasize only to get the data only for ready to hire. So and the process also for open. So because as you know, sometimes we may face some of the data is candidate may under restart the process. So when come to restart the previous process, they may be the status will become cancelled. So make sure every time I just only would take the open data only. So once they have the filter is correct, then you will see the result. I only will get only one data X for active and open data, and the data is already fall under the managed pending hire, ready to hire. And this is actually the ID and the name, email address that also can get from the onboarding itself. So this is something you may need to, I know it's a bit complex to set up for this JSON file, but however, when you reach out to the onboarding consultant, they may know how to build this information and filter out the correct information that you want. And the last step, of course, how we're going to flow this data to the n8n, this is something that we need to set up in the destination setting. So from destination setting, you will see the REST server as a setting. So this whole set need to refer back to the n8n part. So where is the n8n information will come to? This is actually from this particular setup here. Okay, so maybe I enlarge the page from this one. Okay, so this is the first one. This workflow will be the first one, the webhook. The webhook we will see this is the so-called the link URL, the credential. This is the information is coming set up from the n8n, and this is the information, the link and also the credential need to be part under this part sitting here. So to set up for this one is quite straightforward. You can go back to my workflow here. Okay, so workflow. So the first node actually is using the webhook. Okay, so the webhook we have two links. One is test URL, one is production URL. So when you want to play around about the testing, so I will encourage you to go for the test URL and copy the URL and put into the just now the URL link here for this part. So this is actually where when you come to simulation or testing, please put in the test URL into this REST API URL. When it comes to production, you only just put in the production link. Once you switch this the production URL here for the switch to the production part. Then for the credential, I'm still using the basic authentication. So username password is fine. So after you set up the basic authentication, you can create your credential from here. Then you can put in your username and password. And this is the username password. You also may need to be part under from this part from here. Using the basic authentication, put in the username and password here. Actually, the link, the username, password, actually everything is just come from the n8n itself for this one. Okay, it's quite straightforward. So this is how the first thing that when you want to work this out, make sure you have the configuration format, the JSON file format filter is been applied, been built out. The filter that you want to collect the data from what criteria, and lastly is where you want to send the data replicate to which part. So whether it's n8n, make sure there is some basic information you need to put in and follow back here. Then lastly, they will receive the information like this. So the whole file will be passing over from SuccessFactors, will be with the header, with all the parameters, and also the body. This is the important information we need to send over to the n8n workflow. Okay, so from the n8n setup, I think this is if let's say you have an n8n workflow, then I think you can straight away to import, or how to say you can download my workflow on the below description. So if let's say you want to test it out, so you can just import the JSON file that I provide for this workflow. Then for you can just upload to your n8n environment, then you can test it out the whole entire things. Okay, but however, if let's say you don't have the n8n platform, you may consider see whether you want to purchase one of the n8n package from here. Depends on how many usage you want. For example, you just only like build a very less workflow, I think the starter plan for you is quite enough. But however, if let's say you moving forward, you have more and more workflow, more and more automation things you want to be done, create in the workflow. So you can try to see which one is relevant for you. So you can just subscribe only. So the direct from subscribe from n8n is better because you don't need to host your hosting everything. So everything will be done by n8n housing itself. So you just only like purchase and you will get the credential. You just log in. Then once you log in, you will have this platform for you to build the workflow from your end. Okay, so the second option is if let's say you don't want to get from the purchase from the n8n, or you can look for any VPS hosting. So there's a lot of the provider come with the server hosting together with the n8n. So for me, I'm using the Hostinger. My current testing how to say the n8n is using Hostinger. It's quite reasonable price. It's not so expensive. You can just subscribe like contract like 2 months or 1 year or 2 years, depends on what is the spec you are looking at. So when you subscribe the plan, then you just one click button only, then the provider will help you to install the n8n application into your VPS server. So also the same, when you just log in, then you will be able to route you to this n8n so-called platform for this part. Okay, so it depends which option do you want. You can either purchase direct from n8n, or you can just do your hosting from your end. It's come to either way. Okay, so when you have this, then n8n available, then you just import the JSON file, then you have this 5 node available in this workflow. Okay, so for the first node that I mentioned before is actually about the URL. So make sure the URL and credential you create, and put in the URL and also the credential information into the SuccessFactors destination setting. Okay, that one will be the one that to flow data over to this n8n webhook. So this is the one that in the previous video that I mentioned from the setup from the last step. Then JavaScript is the one that how you're going to be add on, okay, the so-called additional field. So based on the previous this example, I only passing for these 3 information. Okay, from the file, from the JSON file coming from the SuccessFactors, we have all this information. But however, I just only need to have these 3. Based on this JavaScript is straightforward. I just want to read based on the JSON, the whole file of the body part. Okay, then I only need to have these 3 field. Email field, that this is the field output name, and looking for the equal to the body of the email for this one. Okay, same thing. So if let's say the first name, I also giving the name of first name and looking for the body of the first name for this part. Okay, so this one. Okay, similarly, for example, you want to add on more field, right? For example, here I want to add additional one more hire date. Okay, so this is the output for the hire date, and they're looking for the body from the start date will be the same like this one, the body start date for this one. Okay, so depends how you want to build for this output file. Maybe different scenario, different case, then you can build the output file that you want. Okay, this part may come to a little bit of the script that you need not know how to write, but is currently with the LLM help like ChatGPT, Gemini, you will easily to get the output. Just mention what is the expected output, and this is the body file, then they will give you the script, then you just copy and paste will do. Okay, then the third node would be the edit field. So for example, this is a tree field that I want to be put in to the field that I want. So the subject is the email subject. I just put in like a simple one, the would like to get your feedback, and also the email address also will be put under one more field for the sender email. Okay, the sender email. Then also the first name, last name, the field will be put under here. Of course, this is the one more is a survey link. The link is coming from the Google form. When you build a Google form, you just get the link and just put it here. Then it's sufficient enough for you to build the link for this part. Okay, so end up we have come out for this for the five information: first name, last name, email, subject, and also the survey link. And this is the token that I need to be built into the sending email. Okay, so sending email, same thing. You just put in for current testing. I'm just using my own SMTP. But however, if let's say you are using the Microsoft Exchange or whatever the email SMTP, you just put in the account window lah. You just set up only. Then of course, from my end, I just want to send this email to the recipient based on the email that I in the output file that I put it here. Then the subject that just now I created just now for we would love your feedback for put this one, and of course the email content I will use in HTML format. So this HTML format will be slightly like this. So I just put in the first name from the candidate as the token, and then the survey link will be under the link button here. So end up the whole HTML outcome will be something look like just now the email you receive like this one. So this is the email look like. Okay. So this is how the blue button icon. The whole thing also coming from the ChatGPT and so on. So you just mention what is your expectation or your branding email, the header footer. You can just pass it up. Then they will help you to come out the whole HTML. Just copy and paste will do. Okay. So this is the email, and the last will be the Telegram. Telegram bot is quite straightforward. You just put in the message content and you send the message using the Telegram bot. So to send the Telegram bot, I think this is quite easy because to set up the Telegram bot, just only use the bot folder. It's free. It's not required for any subscription. So you just only need to build out set up the bot folder to get the token, and you set up into the credential in your asset bot. Then, however, the most important thing is the chat ID. Because you may need to, when you have the token, you may need to get the chat ID via from the browser. Then you just copy and paste the chat ID from here. So this chat ID will be forever. This is the channel for n8n. Always send the notification to this channel. So this is how the entire thing is to be ideal for this Telegram message. You can use WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is a little bit complex because they may need to create from the Meta Security Center. So I would say for testing purpose, you just use the Telegram will be more efficient. When you come to officially, then you will see how it goes to look for like more proper communication channel. Okay, this is something that I want to highlight from this one. But of course, you want to the Telegram bot you can get from any others content creator, the YouTube channel. Then a lot of the tutorial how you set up for this Telegram bot that you can put in the chat ID from this part. Okay, that's all for this tutorial video about how to set up the n8n automation workflow from the SuccessFactors data to integrate over to the n8n workflow to come with the alternative automation process or workflow to be triggered. So okay, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy this. Then my name is CJ. I'm a SuccessFactors consultant. So hope you can see you next time for the next video about more and more the different tutorial about the SuccessFactors alternative solution. Thank you. Bye.